The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series.
Hey there everybody, this is Editing Sean, and I just need to cut in a quick clip to start off the video this time around, because I noticed while I was editing this video that there was a constant low buzzing hum through all of my audio. And I tried the different plugins that are available for Adobe Premiere Pro, the version I have anyway, to try and fix that, and nothing was working. The only thing I could see that was going to make the audio even acceptable was applying a high-pass filter that was going to make me sound like I was talking through a telephone for the entire video. So I got a little frustrated and I put a tweet out on Twitter, which is the place that you put tweets out, before I went to work on Monday, asking if anybody had any other ideas. And the savior of this video is at Voice Parodies. That is Victor over on Twitter. He's somebody who's actually been following me for a while and has been a fan and supporter of the channel, and is actually a YouTuber himself. He does parodies of different content like Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff, Power Rangers via Super Sentai footage. I'll talk a little more about that in a second, but it was Victor who suggested that I take the audio from the video files and run it through Audacity, where that noise reduction filter, I can actually tell it what's supposed to be a silent part of the video, but has a noise in it I want to get rid of. And then it can learn that, and you can apply it to the entire audio file. That's what I did, and it worked like a charm. So Victor was very deserving of a shout out. He is at Voice Parodies, again, on Twitter, and his Twitter page has a link to his channel, which is called Voice Parodies, with the guy from Juoger, Master Genus, I think his name is, but like a Sentai monster on there. He's actually streaming some gaming as we speak, so that's something else that he does on YouTube. But definitely worth checking out, and I felt I needed to do at least that little thing to show my appreciation for him basically rescuing this video. So, enjoy. Hello there, heroes! I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another Power Rangers Dino Fury Second Era episode review. Thus far, the return of Dino Fury has given us a pair of character-focused episodes, primarily on Amelia. But I've always said, this show is at its best when it focuses on the primary plot. Well, with a title like this one, that might just be what we're in for. So let's take a look at the 14th episode of Dino Fury Second Era, Rafkon Revealed.
Please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see all of our videos.
Yeah, and make sure you got your notifications set up by hitting that little bell icon so you get notified of whenever we post any brand new videos.
Right you.
What he said was that if you'd like to support the channel in any way financially, you can consider checking us out on Patreon or Ko-fi at Orange Ranger Videos.
Right you.
We get off to a start that I can at the very best call inoffensive, as BuzzBlast is now streaming their office activities. There's a rousing match of Nerf Dart Capture the Flag set to happen, with Jane's Team Yellow facing off against J-Borg's obviously superior Team Orange. Jane lauds her two best players as they enter, Javi and Amelia, but they've simply come to ask for the day off. Jane good-naturedly allows this anyway. At the base, the scanners have locked on to the location of Rafcon, displaying an image of it. Solon says she wishes she could come along, but apparently the base isn't a spaceship? Or maybe it used to be a spaceship and was converted out of that form and would take too long to convert back into a spaceship?
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Izzy asks if the two Rafconians are excited to be returning home, but Zato is all business. Lord Zedd is ahead of them, and they have no idea what he wants with Rafcon. Ion says they should just open up a portal and get going. He can beat Lord Zedd. The Green Morphin Master said it herself. Let's back up and clarify that statement, Golden Boy. The Green Morphin Master did not say that you were capable of defeating Lord Zedd. She said that you are the key to defeating Lord Zedd. There is a very clear and important difference there. Cute little sequence that advances Amelia as Ollie says that prophecies are not real. They disproved psychics just a short while ago. Amelia points out that Madame Indigo predicted a long and happy relationship between the two of them. Ollie calls that just a lucky guess, and just she's hanging on his arm the whole time, and it's just super cute. Ion continues to be insistent, even as the others say that Zedd is no joke. As a matter of fact, Ion switches over to my wording, saying he is the key to stopping Lord Zedd, and it turns out that we were both wrong. He shows Ollie and Javi his memory of waking up. How can you see yourself in a memory in the third person? I'm going to keep asking this question. And what they said was that he was needed for an important task, and without him, Lord Zedd will rule again. Zato is quiet, the reality that he's going to see his home planet again sinking in. The Rangers morph and form the T-Rex Cosmic Megazord to make the portal trip. They open up the portal, the Megazord jumps through, and...
Suspense!
And we cut back to capture the flag at Buzz Blast. This sequence was almost cute, if not for its absolutely jarring placement in the episode.
Who cares?
The Rangers arrive at Rafcon, a very Earth-like looking planet, and Zato begins scanning for the most densely populated area to go down and start asking questions about Lord Zedd. One little problem. There's nobody on the planet. Ollie increases the resolution of the scan, and they detect a single life form. Logically, they figure out that that's gotta be Lord Zedd, and the scan would not detect the robots that are with him. Ion babbles on again about being the prophecy boy and teleports down, alone, with the others rushing after him. The Rangers find themselves in a lush green forest, the planet having recovered over millions of years, and making it dang convenient for them to just film in a slightly different part of New Zealand. Their theory was right on the money as they find Lord Zedd, Scrozzle, Boom Blaster, Scissorai, and something that looks like a green lip syncer searching for something. And now we're going to cue the grunts are idiots, so the BBEG has to explain their plan once again, so the Rangers and the audience get to hear it for the first time trope. Zedd is searching for the original Sporix generator. He plans to create more Sporix and have his very own army of monsters. But Ion read a fortune cookie once, and that's good enough for him, so he charges in half-cocked and makes the other Rangers run over to back him up. Scrozzle says they don't have time for this, leaving Boom Blaster and Null-Eye while the rest of them teleport away. Null-Eye is the green lipstick-looking dude, by the way. The Rangers morph, getting a big CG logo behind them, and that leads to something I want to quickly talk about. This is clearly Sentai footage, but something was different about it. It seemed a little darker and a little more dynamic. My guess is that this was footage from Rhea Soldier's movie, but I checked and it's not, just 2 different late-stage episodes of the show.
I was the wrong one!
The Garcias deal with Boom Blaster, while the others deal with Null Eye and the Henchmen, with the Garcias looping back in with the others to do a Dino Fury Force attack that combines CGI heads of all of their Zords, and again, this just seemed like really dynamic footage they were using. Null Eye retreats, but Boom Blaster is still raring to go, until Zato goes Dino Knight and the others use some armors to chase that one off too. Ion is upset he didn't get his one-on-one with Lord Zedd, with Zato explaining that he probably screwed that up by just charging in and not having a plan. But Ion doesn't care about a plan. He's destined to defeat Lord Zedd, and the other Rangers are sick of hearing this now. Zato focuses the team. They need to find the Sporix generator. The machine we saw unleash the Sporix originally must have just been like a faucet head or something, because the actual machine is underground, connected directly to Rafcon's core. And, you know, being directly connected to the core and everything, if the machine were destroyed or even damaged, that would probably have a detrimental effect on Rafcon, and they're standing on Rafcon right now, so... The Rangers aren't sure what to do next, but Javi remembers some sage advice from his forest warden father. When you're lost, get to higher ground and get your bearings. While more capture the flag at Buzz Blast.
Come on, everybody, skip it!
The Rangers crest to the top of Rafcon's gorgeous New Zealand hill and take in the sights. Rafcon sure is a beautiful country. Zato suddenly realizes that he knows where he is, very close to his hometown. He starts to visualize and point out where the different landmarks and buildings and his house was, and it helps him realize that it's all gone. I mean, obviously he's talking about some kind of big futuristic space city, and now it's just New Zealand hills. Obviously it's gone, but I'm talking about emotionally it hits him. It has been so long that the planet has even reclaimed the wreckage of the town. Ion brings him back to reality. They can reminisce and mourn later, but right now they have to stop Lord Zedd. Ion points them towards some military testing grounds to the west, and they head that direction. And once again, Dino Fury tries to get away with using a trope by lampshading it, as Scrozzle had directly suggested the old teleport out and then follow them trick, and now the Rangers are leading them right where they want to go. Ion gets them in the right ballpark and the Rangers start looking around, with Amelia immediately finding what they're looking for. Zato says this is it, the control device for the Sporix machine. Ion notes that the port for the actual machine should be somewhere nearby, and he very quickly finds that as well. Millions of years, and it's under a little bit of light brush. And this is when the monster grunts attack. The Rangers morph, and this, for some reason, is where we get the full morphing sequence. Zato versus Boom Blaster. Ion versus Null Eye. The other Rangers versus Scissorai, who is suddenly beating them all around for some reason. And it turns out that this is all another trick by Lord Zedd, a very clever one. The monsters, I realize they're all robots, I'm just calling them monsters collectively, are a distraction, as Zedd and Scrozzle make their way to the machine and get to work. Time for another minor trope this time, the episode tennis match. The Rangers fight the monsters. There's actually this really cool, like, Kabuto versus Decade as Fi's speed for speed fight between Izzy and Scissorai, and I really couldn't have referenced that any geekier as a Toku creator, could I? As Zedd and Scrozzle activate the machine. Zato uses the freeze armor against Boom Blaster, but despite that, all of the monsters end up getting the upper hand. Amelia says, hey, at least it can't get any worse. So of course they immediately feel the Sporix machine activating. Ion says that he has to get to Lord Zedd right now, with Zato chasing after him. Well, here we are. As Scrozzle says the machine is going to need a little bit of work, Ion comes charging in. The electricity blazes in his eyes as he prepares for his moment, his destiny, his reason for being. He is the key to stopping Lord Zedd. The two lock eyes, if Lord Zedd has eyes, as the Gold Ranger charges his foe, ready to put an end to one of the universe's most evil creatures. And if you can't sense it by now, I am sarcastically giving this moment far more gravitas than the episode did, because Zedd zaps Ion once and he falls flat to the ground and is immediately demorphed. Is that a true reflection of their power gauges? Sure, but it's pretty underwhelming, especially considering all the build-up. And speaking of disappointing ways to solve a problem, Zato uses the shield armor to defend Ion. One of Zedd's blasts is deflected away and destroys Scissorai.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm serious. An errant blast from Lord Zedd destroys this monster who's been beating the Rangers most of the episode. And that's it, he's done. The Rangers use the distraction to freeze the other two and run away.
Run away! Run away! Run away!
Back with Zedd, dang does he get a zinger. He suggests that Red do what the rest of his people did and go extinct. Zedd keeps blasting away, and Zato is eventually demorphed, knocked down, and injured far worse than Ion, because Zato was using a shield, and we're just gonna pretend that that somehow makes some sense. The others show up, ready to defend the two of them, as Ion admits to Zato that he was wrong about the prophecy. No kidding. But as Zedd blasts at them, a force field pops up to defend them. And then suddenly they're all teleported back to the base on Earth. Not questioning their saving graces in the immediate moment, they put Zato on a biobed and have Solon take a look. While she's scanning, they do then ask how she managed to get them out of there, but she wasn't the one that did it. Her scanner confirms it. Zato is dying. Well, here we go again with words that they won't actually say, though in this case I get this one a little bit more than love. Zato's vitals are falling drastically, and they're not stopping. So, he's dying. As Ion worries about the prophecy, and the others worry about Zato, okay, that's a little mean, he's obviously worried about Zato as well. A portal opens up with a whoosh, and strands of blue connected light like a web. The green Morphin Master steps through, telling the Rangers to not be afraid, that everything will be alright. Heroes, do not be afraid. This review is over, but I have scales to balance. Episode 14, Rafkon Revealed. Pros, focus on the Rangers! Intense battles and expansion of the universe. Cons, takes too long to get anywhere, the Buzz Blast interludes, and what are the other bad guys doing? Some significant issues, but much better. Rafkon Revealed gets 4 scales out of 5. I will scream it from the Rafconian mountaintops. This story is so good when it focuses on itself. Power Rangers Dino Fury, the reason we're all here. If you have to have a moral for the kids, do it like you did it this time, mostly. Work it into the Ranger story. Don't amplify the human aspect that most of us aren't really here for and don't really care about, and downplay the Ranger stuff. Now, I say mostly like they did it this week because they did kind of fail at that, and I'll get to that in a little bit, but overall, yeah. There were some really intense fights in this episode. Now, I will say it gave some characters, especially Scissorai, a really wonky power curve, but overall, the fights actually felt intense. The worst of the bunch was the last one against Zedd, which wasn't even really a fight, he just zapped them. But even after that one, Zato is now dying.
I'm dying!
And it is always nice to see the Rangers on another planet. Now, was there any effort made to make this look like a different planet? No, this was a forest in New Zealand. But hey, it was pretty landscape, and overall it still just does a bunch for the world building. Rafcon now feels a lot more real, for lack of a better term, because the Rangers we know in the present have been there. I got a comment on my previous review saying that they couldn't wait for me to review this episode and the next one because they felt they were pretty good, besides the fact that they were a bit rushed. I tend to agree when it comes to this episode, but kind of from the opposite direction. This episode spun its wheels for like 15 minutes before the wheels hit the ground and we just blazed to a conclusion. The primary example of this in this episode is definitely the moral with Ion. He spends the entire episode talking up how he is the key to beating Lord Zedd, to the point of even annoying his fellow Rangers. And the episode keeps giving us these near misses of the two actually fighting, building it up even more. Then the two actually face off, Zedd zaps him once, and he learns the true meaning of Christmas or whatever. But also, we have to find the sporks machine. Hunt, hunt, hunt. 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 We found the machine. And it's broken. Oh no, our machine, it's broken. I really don't want to give this part of the episode that much attention, because that's what it wants. But the Buzz Blast stuff added nothing, even less than usual. Since the entire Ranger unit was together for pretty much the whole episode, the Buzz Blast stuff was even more irrelevant to the plot. This was the dictionary definition of what Melissa Flores taught me that the comedy duo does. Gives them another part of the episode that they can film with a completely different unit of actors. The problem is, I never once came close to caring. Ranger Wikia says that this was the second and final episode to not feature Void King, Void Queen, or any of their lackeys. That's good. But still, as a matter of fact, these last two cons actually tie together rather well. Take one of those capture the flag scenes, throw it in the garbage, where it belongs, and give us a scene with Void King and Queen trying to figure out where Zedd went. Where did he go? What are his coordinates? What information was it that he got from the Rangers and then took off? It's still another unit with different actors. You can film it at the same time. And I'd actually care. Simon Bennett has said that Dino Fury was planned out as a single 22-episode season before getting the bump to 2 seasons at 44 episodes. That meant that they needed a lot of filler to stretch out the arcs that they had originally planned. That's why the filler episodes in Dino Fury can feel so disconnected from the primary plot. And this is a shining example of that, as this was a story beat that was clearly planned from the very beginning, and a story that the writers actually cared about. Episodes like this one are what make Dino Fury great when it is great. This episode ended with a Morphin Master coming to meet the Rangers. Let's see what developments come from that by taking a peek at the 15th episode, Morphin Master. The other Morphin Masters are angry that Green has broken their vow to never interfere in mortal affairs. But when they see her and the Rangers working together, they have a change of heart. You know, in the past, the Boom Studios comic books have actually touched pretty strongly on the roles of the emissaries and the Morphin Masters and what contact with them means. I'd like to see some of that canonized to the TV show here, but really what I'm mainly hoping for is just to see some depth to it and a story with a little bit of meaning, not just the other Morphin Masters being cranky because Green broke a timeless vow. But that is going to do it for another Power Rangers Dino Fury Second Era episode review. Thank you, heroes, so much as always for watching. Now that the video's done, you can let me know what you thought of this review, as well as the episode itself, down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button to let me know that you enjoyed this video. And if you're looking for a way to support this channel that's not Patreon or Ko-fi and you'd like some snazzy merch like this, you can check out my Teespring store. In the past, as in the last video, I may have said I was going to put a link on the screen and then completely forgot to do so. Hey Sean in editing, don't forget this time. This is the link. They change it up a bit sometimes and I'm never quite sure what it is. If I do forget to put it right here on the screen, I will try to put it down in the video info, which I will try to do anyway, etc., etc., babbling. This is Squealer. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. Okay, bye. Let's take a look at the 14th episode I thought I stumbled over a word. I don't think I actually did, but then thinking about it, knocked off the train. Jane la 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 la. With Jane's Team Yellow. Yeah, it is Jane's Team Yellow, but alright. The prophecies aren't real, and just like the machine. Rafcon sure is a beautiful country. Maybe I can say that without looking at the TV. The Rangers crest to the top of a... Ion gets them in the right ballpark and the Rangers start looking around with immediately... The monsters, yes I realize they're all robots, I'm just calling them the monsters collectively, are a distraction all of their own. What the speed for speed fight with some... And if you can't sense it by now, I am giving this moment way... Now, I will say it gave Sam some... Ranger Wikia says that this is the second and final episode to not feature Void King... Simon Bennett has said...